멀어져. One, two, three, 기억 속에 짙어 너의 기호를 지우며 한없이 가득거진 너로 채워졌던 그 길을 정리하고 yeah. 사랑을 숨길 수가 없듯이 이별도 숨길 수가 없잖아. 사랑을 시작한 그 순간이 다른 이별도 그런가 봐. 이 사랑의 길 끝에 oh yeah. 이별의 길이 펼쳐져 너는 저 보이지도 않는 yeah. 끝을 계속 난 걸어가 우리가 멀어져가.
Arigato. Konnichiwa, minasan. Kyo desu. How are you all today? I'm Jay Takashi, and we're here to bring you guys another anime podcast. And I'm here joined together with my little brother, Mr. Rin Otaku.
Hey, yo.
and we're here to get down and talk about the anime series Fire Force and its connection to Soul Eater. Now today we're going to do things a little bit differently, guys, because this isn't about the series itself more often than not. It's more so about the connection of what made the creator want to bridge these two series together. Even though he is the creator of it, he decided to merge both realms together and set it as a prequel date to the actual to Soul Eater. That's what Fire Force is. And now that we know this, it's kind of like a shock to me, him, and our thoughts are kind of like there's like questions we have to ask of like, okay, there's a lot of duration and time that came with this that's missing that we don't know about. So I'm just very curious to like where it goes. But all in all, guys, like I said, we're gonna touch up on that, and then afterwards we're gonna get into some Sonic 2 talk about what they might do for future movies. We haven't watched the movie yet, but it's coming out next week, and we're just pretty much going to be here talking about our thoughts about it, and we're going to let people up if they want to speak about that too. But all in all, Mr. Rentaku, you have the floor first.
Hey, yo. So, talking about the Fire Force and Soul Eater connection, I'm split on that. I think it's really cool on one hand, because I love Soul Eater. Most of us love Soul Eater. And most of us grew up around the time the Soul Eater first came out. So, we part of that older anime generation. And I like them connecting it to a new age anime that way. However, they left a lot of holes by doing that. And this is where the other hand comes in, where it kind of felt rushed. It felt like a deadline was coming up and the writer had this spectacular vision in mind, but it was going to require a lot more time and a lot more dialogue and a lot more story. Jay Bones, what's going on, dude? And a lot more story before we actually got to that point. But the producers were all like, "No, we need you to wrap this up now." And he's like, "Well, shit. All right. So here's how it's connected," and it just did that. So I feel like, because those of you who read it would know that at the end they say something about Soul World. I feel like the next iteration is going to be that gap. It's going to be the gap in time where Fire Force becomes Soul Eater, and that portion that's missing. Because if any of you guys have read that chapter, then you know that at the end, well, not really the end of the chapter, but like towards the end of the chapter, where Shinra actually takes the form of Lord Death, like as we know Lord Death to be. He's got his silly mask, he's got his big hands, the silly hands, he's got his softer demeanor, and Maka and Black Star and Death the Kid are toddlers, and we're just seeing them. But they said this was like much time has passed. So from the time that he was still adult Shinra to the time that he becomes Lord Death that we know him, there's a huge gap of time that was just not mentioned. It's like this time has passed. Now, watching Soul Eater, you know that Lord Death had spoke about the years before he made the academy, when he would roll with the crew, and when the one of his crew members became the Kishin, who becomes the big bad guy of Soul Eater, and how before he made the school, he had a much harder demeanor. He had a much scarier mask. His voice was much deeper, and his hands weren't the big soft, like the big foamy looking hands. They look rough. They look serious. And he wielded a scythe, and that we know now that scythe was Maka's dad. But he looked harder. He looked scarier. He looked like a conquest leader. You know, like someone you should very much be afraid of. And he said that he dropped that demeanor when he made the school so that the kids wouldn't be afraid of him, so that people would want to learn from him, and he would be more welcoming to the young meisters. So that being said, that segment in the end of Fire Force where you see Lord Death, and Lord Death is in his soft demeanor and Maka and them are babies, that means that the point in time that he was talking about in Soul Eater took place before that. It took place long before that. All that took place before that. So in that gap of time where they're like many years later, there's a lot of shit in that gap of time that needs to be explained, that needs to be fleshed out, needs to be talked about. So I think that Soul World, if that's what it's going to be called, they said Soul World in the manga, but that could change. You know how producers. So the Soul World, when that comes out, that's going to be that era in time. It's going to be that portion that's missing from that, because otherwise, if they leave it like it is, and then Soul World is a continuation of Soul Eater, then what the fuck? like what the fuck? How? That don't make sense. It don't make sense. Like in the current lore available, what the fuck? So, what do you think, Jay?
Honestly, I'm split like you, and I don't know if the creator slash had an idea to actually merge the two worlds together, because for me it just seems like not random, but it just kind of like, were you planning for this all the time, or was this something you just came up with? So that's why I say I'm like split on that in terms of that side. Now, I like I said, I love both series. I kind of like Soul Eater a tad bit more, and it's just because I watched with the anime first, and then after that, I realized there's some things the ending didn't hold up as well as like what the mangas was. So I went to go read the manga, and people tell me there's a lot more Black Star love, there's more Death the Kid love, there's more Maka love, but Black Star is the whole freaking. He is like Maka's the main character. She ain't showing the best feats. It's all about Black Star. People are telling me, and I'm like, yo, Black Star is such a great character in the manga. Also, Justin Law, Medusa, all that was amazing. But when it came to specifically this tie-in, I was like, okay, so you're telling me Shinra, the very end, and guys, I'll actually put the link and we'll talk about it in a second. Shinra is supposedly becomes the death god, Shinigami. And you're telling me he also is the one of reining in these other powerful people, such as themselves like Ashura, like potential other gods more often than not. That's what they're saying. And I'm gonna say demigods when I say that, like Ashura, which was the Kishin in that series of Soul Eater. And Abon, there's a whole bunch of other ones that they could talk about in the manga. You guys have to go check it out for yourselves. But there's a whole group of people. So he wrote all this in, created a new power system. And not based on the fire from Fire Force, but the actual soul wavelengths, the soul system, like based off wavelengths, based off relationships, yeah, with actual meisters and weapon, and no meisters and weapons, and the whole Tamashi no Kyome is soul resonance, guys. I'm sorry, guys. It's so easy to say that up, like freaking like off the whip of the tongue for me. Tamashi no Kyome, which means soul resonance, which is basically the whole first opening song is called Resonance. So So whenever we're talking about like series like this, like I'm so curious at how that power system changed. That was like one of my biggest things. Like, how do you go from fire to souls? Please explain that to me. Like,
Now,
you gotta like bridging some gaps with that. Now, and system can evolve, but what pushed it to there? How did you change that? Because that system should no longer exist. Oh, okay, it's let me correct myself. It's not that the system can exist. What, like, there could be like a few individuals who have that ability, but it wouldn't be to the same. But it won't be like everybody in Fire Force has a fire. My bad, has a prominent fire attribute of different tiers. But with the soul thing, it's like it can be adapted in some weapons or meisters. Okay, but none of them ever utilize that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's more often like there might be like it might be like the extinct thing. Like, there's very few people who can use the ability now. Because I'm not saying it's no longer relevant, but it's not as prominent.
right.
That's what I would say.
See, now to touch on your first point there, they actually did hint way early in Fire Force that it was connected to Soul Eater, and I didn't notice this until they made the actual connection, and then I went back and rewatched Fire Force, and yeah, in the opening, like literally the first season 1 opening of Fire Force, when he's talking about the different ways people die and how fire is the most feared way to die. As soon as he says that, Lord Death's skulls pop up on the screen. They're just all over the screen. It's just a bunch of Lord Death's, and they're not just.
I thought that was a shout out. I thought that was a shout out to Soul.
Yeah, I thought it was too. Yeah, I thought it was too, because just like the studio that did Rave Master, they have a shout out character in all of this in the following series, in Fairy Tail and Eden Zero. All of them have a shout out character from the series before it, even though they're not connected, because they were made by the same studio. They have a shout out character from the series before it, and I thought that's what was going on here, because they use the same studio and it is by the same the same author, so it's all the same art style as the series before it, which would have been Soul Eater. So I thought that this stuff was just call outs to Soul Eater, but they weren't. They were premonitions to Soul Eater. So that's where he got his symbol from. The skull that they used to represent danger and death and the fire and all the Fire Force stuff, that's the skull he decided to use as the school. And the Fire Force Station 8 is the school. He rebuilt, he built upon Station 8 and added more towers and shit around Station 8, and that's the academy. Like that is the academy. The towers, and you can see it at the end of the thing. They show you how it transformed. They show it at the beginning as Station 8, and then over time they then show him adding the pointy towers and some of the skulls to it, and then towards the end they show him adding more of the academy in the background, but but Station 8's still in the center. And then you go and watch Soul Eater, and you can see it. like right in the opening of Soul Eater, you can see it now. You see Station 8 and how they refined the towers and added more of the spooky stuff and the long nose and all that stuff. But you can still see it. It's still Station 8 right there. So it's always been there. Those connections have always been there, but they're very subtle. You wouldn't know unless you knew. Unless you saw the connection and knew that the two series were connected, you wouldn't have noticed that. That's how subtle they were. So it was well done. But yeah, they were definitely hinting at the connection long before that. And another one is Blair, the cat who has an intense levels of magical powers. They actually broke her down into two characters. She is oh my god, I can't remember their names to save my life. But the fire cat chick, obviously, that's the most obvious one. But the other one they broke her down into is the muscular chick, whose name I think is Maki. Was it Maki?
What are you talking about? Yeah, Maki.
Yes, she's the other one. Because remember, the cat uses that pumpkin magic, and her pumpkin magic had the two little pumpkins that would fly above her, and she'd throw those out, and they would explode and do stuff. That is exactly what Maki does with her two little fire creatures. They literally took that aspect of her and made Maki, and then took the cat and sexiness and gave it to the other character and made her the sex appeal of the show. And that's like literally
That's really what it is.
yeah, they literally did that. So the connections were there. You just had to know. You had to know what to look for. I had to like weigh in listening to this combo since I've never seen these shows. Hey, yo, appreciate it. But
yeah, Brianna, like I was on her stream the other day. I'm a huge supporter of her. Her and Shy Cutie, they do anime, they review actual movies, and they actually do she actually does like a little podcast every Sunday. So thanks for finally
that's
showing
what's up.
up.
That's what's up.
I appreciate
it. We appreciate it. But yeah, she said she's seen a little bit of Soul Eater, but yeah. So that connection, you wouldn't have noticed it unless you knew confirmed that the two were connected. So, and they did that on purpose because now that encourages rewatching, because it definitely got me to do it. It encourages rewatching, and now people are going to go back through and watch Soul Eater, and they're going to rewatch Soul Eater and try to figure out, okay, what is talked about in Soul Eater that was like premised in Fire Force. And you won't find a lot of it until the very, very, very end, where they start talking about the Evangelist and what the Evangelist actually is, and why they had to destroy the world in order to actually kill the Evangelist. So, and it makes sense because it's the same principle for Soul Eater. Where Lord Death said, if he dies, the world dies. Like he said that when they were fighting when they were fighting against the Kishin, and the reason he can't leave the academy. So he made it so that the academy is so he made it so that the academy is mobile, and he can make the academy itself go
because
wherever.
He can't leave that city.
Yeah, he can't leave the city.
Sold to it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which is why Maka even says in one episode, like, I can see souls, but I can't see Shinigamis. And then they pan away from the town, and you see his
whole soul is the town.
The entire town. And I'm just like, that's crazy.
It is fucking crazy because that's a testament to how powerful he is, but he is also a god. So, which at the time, which at the time in Soul Eater, they did not tell us that he was a god. They didn't say that he was a god. They just said that he was Lord Death, and he ran the academy. That's the extent, and that he's old as shit because he thousands of years ago he ran with this Kishin and Ashura and all of them. So we knew he was old as shit. And we knew that he ran the academy. We did not know that he was confirmed to be a god. Like, he is death. We didn't know that. So Fire Force confirms that he is a god, and he is death, and he's OP as fuck for a reason. And that shed light to that. But again, it doesn't shed light on the whole Kishin thing. Like, where did those come from? I get, like, in any world that you... Yeah. Right, like in Fire Force, they do say at the end of Fire Force, they do say where any world that you create, even if you created it off of death, there is light and darkness in that. There's good and bad in everything created. So even though he made the world based off of the concept of death instead of the concept of life, as previously, it's still gonna have good and bad. So there's still gonna be good representations of death and bad representations of death. There's still gonna be spooky stuff and not as spooky, but still kind of spooky in a way stuff. And that's why Soul Eater is the way it is. That's why it looks like a Halloween costume on steroids. Because
and actually, I'll touch up on that too. One of the biggest key factors, because I'm gonna give you a break, but I'm glad you're speaking, bro. Because like this is one of our series that like us '90s kids actually grew up on, and actually really when we were like in high school when this anime was out, me and Chris had watched it, and I was like, yo, this is so different. This is like Halloween based anime, and the first opening hit for me. That
hit, that shit hit.
I still listen to that, man. So good. Team Revolution, bro. Shout out to Team Revolution, and shout out to opening 2, Paper Moon, man. Love Paper Moon. Really good. And the thing is, when we started watching this series a lot, it was like really Halloween based theme, and I'm like, okay, Soul Eater and Maka. Okay, let's see where this goes. You had Jack the Ripper, which was like in the first episode. They kill him, and then you get introduced to like what? Mobs of like demonist people who are trying to become Kenshin,
the Mafia,
souls. Mafia, which is Black Star's episode number 2. You know, I am the star. Big man is standing here. I remember that title. It's so weird.
They did have some weird ass episode titles.
They do. They have some weird episode titles. And then you get introduced with Death the Kid and with him trying to battle the pyramid mummy. He has a really bad disorder as far as I can tell. Because I'll be honest, upon my rewatch, that the kid, it wasn't Black Star that got to me. It was that the kid a little bit
Yeah,
because of
he's got
his little problem. Like if it's not
that
symmetrical, I can't
OCD.
hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's like a
OCD.
severe
He has
case of
like
OCD.
OCD. If it's not perfect or if it's not clean, then it can't be symmetrical, guys. Like the toilet paper has to be a right amount. It has to be, like,
Mhm.
you got it bad. You were tweaking so bad.
Yeah, rewatching that as an adult was infuriating.
Infuriating, man, bro. I told my friend the same thing with DBZ. I told my friend, I said it said the difference was I was 10, not 21.
Yeah, not 29. Like that
It's a
shit is
difference. I'm 30 now. I'm like,
infuriating
no,
watching that shit again.
I can't.
but
I can't.
but it makes sense though. It does
It
make
makes
sense.
sense.
So
It made a lot of sense. And the
I'm
different
excited.
abilities and powers that they use was so amazing. So
Yeah,
I
I'm
will say that.
excited to see how they actually tie that together. Like I said, that in that gap of time that's missing, I'm excited to see if they touch on that and how they touch on that and why exactly, like why the power of change had like, I guess I know why it had to happen because the evangelist is what was giving everyone the ability to use fire. So by killing her, you lose that ability to use that fire.
You do.
And the Lord Death is now giving everyone the ability to have soul resonances. And if you kill Lord Death, you lose the ability to have those soul resonances. So I
Right.
do kind of get that, but I want to see more on that link. Like that, right now it feels like we got episode 1, cut episode 3. So we need that second episode in there to make that transition smoother between Fire Force and Soul Eater.
Right. And by the way, guys, I'm actually gonna share this with everybody because what we're talking about when we're saying Soul World. I love how somebody made a post of this so you can actually see it. Hold on, I'm gonna do screen share. And there's actually memes of this. Actually, it's so funny too.
Oh yeah, this is a very memeable situation. 100%. Not to say that it hasn't been done before, but it's a very memeable situation nonetheless.
Yeah, it definitely is. Because my friend said, "Yeah, you got to check this out," and I'm like, "Okay, man." And then I see it. I'm like, "Wait, they're connected? The heck?" Hold on. There we go. It's right here, guys. All right. I'm gonna command plus this real quick, y'all, so y'all can see it. Yeah. All right. Let me know if anybody could see that. Okay, there we go. Right here. Everybody can
So
see it.
yeah, these panels are extremely out of order. So they took each of the panels and put them together on this one page. So this is not one whole page. These are multiple separate pages. But you can see what I'm talking about. So if we're looking at it from left to right, you can see him in the hallway where they're showing that he's Death. They're showing he's Lord Death, but he's not wearing his cloak and he hasn't taken his actual Lord Death form yet. And then you see the small picture of him. Yeah, you see him. Yeah, 42 years old too. You see him, the small picture of him right above where you see him in the soft mask as Lord Death. And then right above that, it says many years later. Like there's a huge gap of time that's missing between humanized Shinra and Lord Death Shinra. And then the birth of Maka, well, not the birth of Maka, but Maka as a toddler, and then next is Soul World. So that's where that comes from. That's the whole Soul World thing. They called the next chapter Soul World. So I don't know if they're, like I said, we don't know if that's going to be a continuation of Soul Eater, or if that's going to be
Fire Force.
Right, or like the actual Link series in between. Yeah, and that's what I hope it is. I hope it's the Link series between Fire Force and Soul Eater. It would make sense. It would be perfect, and it would make everybody happy because right now this just feels like what?
Well, my thoughts is because I think it's transitioning into the Soul Eater world when you do that. Like we're just now transitioning in there to the guy. I mean, when you see him standing, like he should have already ran into other people who are like Ashura, other like
he would have already ran into and separated from
his whole group. Yeah, his whole group of like the people who like kind of set the world the way it is. And I'll that's a speculation on my part because I think they all had a hand in it. That's simply just him.
Oh yeah, they do. They tell you in the chapter that they do because Arthur's still there.
Maybe the commanders got turned into that after years after.
Arthur's still there. Some of the captains are still there. Oh, another continuity issue. So there is a filler episode, and I'm calling it a filler episode. I don't care if it's canon. I'm calling it a filler episode. There is a filler episode in Fire Force where the dark skinned guy with the white hair goes to fight the fire cat chick, and he can't fight her because she's too sexy. Okay, she's too sexy for him. He can't fight her, so he goes and he trains, and he's going off to the desert. And the evangelists are all like, "Oh, he's coming back. He's so much stronger." He slaps him around. Look how powerful he is, and he goes to fight her again. Too sexy, can't fight her. He just can't do it. So he goes to train himself in the sexy arts. I wonder how many people caught this. The brothel he went to train himself in the sexy arts. He sits at a stool. Okay, he sits in a booth. Behind him in that booth is Maka's dad talking with the waitress, with the fucking stewardesses about how much his daughter hates him, his wife hates him, and he wants his daughter to look up to her, and then calls out my sweet Maka in the episode in Fire Force. Does that, and then they go back, and he tries to fight the sexy cat again, loses again, and he just decides he can't do it. But that right there, like, bro, you already having the most. That's not fucking foreshadowing.
I'm joking.
like you're already having the biggest continuity issues in manga right now. Why would you do that? Like, okay, we could call it an Easter egg. Sure, okay, sure. That's too close to lore to be a fucking Easter egg. It's too close to lore to be an Easter egg. But that is blatant. That is the most blatant example of them screaming that Fire Force is connected to Soul Eater. That has been a thing, and that was in season 2 of the animated series. So season 3 is obviously going to be the conclusion of Fire Force, but that was in season 2. Look that shit up, man. That shit was hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious to see. But that was 100% Maka's dad talking about Maka and her mom in the brothel that you see him always going to in Soul Eater, which means that my man went across universes to train to be prepared for this sexy bitch that he had to go fight. Like, he went across universes for that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he did.
What's your take on that, Jay?
Dude, my take on that, I already knew it was filler because let's be real, bro. Anytime something like that funny, because One Piece does the same thing when they do silly filler like that.
No. One Piece.
They do a lot less now. Now.
One Piece will fuck with you. One Piece will bring some some super silly as shit that'll happen, and you'll go, "Oh, there ain't no way this is canon." I'm gonna skip 15 episodes and go back to the fight and find out 106 episodes later that super silly shit was canon. And now you got to go back and watch that shit.
Yeah, because the biggest thing is like One Piece creates the in canon filler, but it's like you at the very beginning. I'm talking about before pre-time skip. It's different as opposed to time skip because I realized like this is clearly filler, bro.
Now they don't do it as much, but they definitely did. Definitely did back in the beginning.
Shogun Luffy when he was
Shogun Luffy, the monster Luffy, which became canon. Fucking Foxy, the Foxy Pirates. That was supposed to be an entire fucking filler season.
I hate that.
No,
I hate that one.
It's not filler. It's canon, guys.
Filler is canon.
It's fucking canon.
Don't get me started. Like I said, the best episode technically is Zoro and Sanji like taking out the groggy monsters. That's the only episode I really like. That's the only episode. Because you saw how strong and dumb they are compared to like monsters.
Yeah,
like, actual creatures that look bigger than them, and they're just tossing them around like rag balls.
that jaded me. Like I got PTSD off that shit. Oh shit, that's not filler. What? So now
Yeah,
I
man.
take that shit seriously. When
Yeah, you take it
anime,
too.
anime comes up and they do the super silly shit, no, you gotta watch that because
You gotta watch
206 episodes down the line, that was canon. Like,
Mhm. Exactly. And like I said, because you can't say what's canon, what's not, unless you read the book.
exactly.
Most of that,
Let's do-
can,
and even
because yeah,
then, because what they did to fucking the time I got reincarnated as a slime, no, I'm not appreciative of that. I'm not at all.
yeah.
But
Same
that's
here,
another
man.
conversation
I'm a
for
big,
another
I'm a, I'm a big, I'm a
day.
big advocate. I'm a big advocate in that, and guess we will talk about that series one day. But I'm saving that. That's gonna be a big thing we're gonna talk about. But
Mhm.
overall, we, yeah, guys, like for this panel and everything that we're talking about, guys, it, like I said, it's going to show you that he's trying to expand his world. Similar, I hate to have to use this comparison. Uh he's trying to expand his world like Dragon Ball Super. Does that make everybody happy? I had to say it. I'm sorry. I got cringe when I said that. But he's trying to he's trying to expand it. And he's trying to go about an intricate way of doing it. But the thing, like I said, we just have lapse of times missing, and some of that has to be fleshed out for me because I don't like anything missing. I need all it here. I need
Mhm.
conclusion to my stuff. I don't like plot holes. I don't like plot devices. If they're no, not plot devices more often than not. I don't like plot holes. Something that's not explained and you just leave it out there, like that's a plot hole for me. And with the definition of what it actually means. But like, dude, like, bro, you gotta fill out these gaps for me, my friend. Because I need, if you're gonna make another manga or you're gonna make a continuation of this, like you have to do all that leading to it. And then also you have to put the amount of time when Ashura was around and all this.
Mhm.
But now, hold on. Actually, I can argue my own point right now because this is kind of rare. Technically, you don't have to see Ashura rolling around with the homies, like around that
Mm.
time. You can get them and you can get it in brief, like I guess like
It would be
skits.
nice.
Yeah, it would be awesome. I mean, because when I've always liked it when we make that comparison, like if they were to show us that, that would be nice. Give us more background information of like what the each one of the people who were following Lord Death around when they're trying to shape the world, what their purpose was and how they helped him create. Maybe I don't think even maybe he did create Death City. Maybe Death did create Death City. Because I can't remember if he did or not. But if they had a hand in doing it, because they said Abon had a hand in changing everything, his tools that he
Mhm.
made, which is what that whole episode when Death Kid had to go get the tool of
Mhm.
Brew and all that, that was Abon's creation to transform the whole city to make it move and things like that.
Mhm.
So they obviously played a role in the hand. It was just a matter of them, uh, also a matter of them actually getting on Lord Death's page of what he was trying to do. So
And we need to know what happened to them because aside from
we
Ashura
don't know
and
anything.
Maka's dad, we have no idea what happened to anybody else in the crew. No idea.
We don't.
From and according to freaking Fire Force, most of the people who transferred from the Fire Force world into Shinra's new world are immortal. Like
They
immortal
should be
meaning
dead.
they don't die from age. So they should in themselves be like demigods. And I guarantee you some of
Yeah.
those were in the crew. Like I bet Arthur was in that crew with Ashura and Lord Death because he was there. In the beginning of this panel, Arthur was there. He was there in Lord Death's new Station 8. He was there when they made it into the school. Like Arthur was there. But he's never mentioned in Soul Eater.
Mhm.
So I want to know what happened. I want to know what happened
Right.
to them. Why did they separate? Are they alive? Are they dead? What went down? I know there's leagues of new forces in the world that are much stronger than anything Shinra had to deal with back in Fire Force.
Yeah,
So
because Soul
then,
Eater, there's a lot more powerful beings.
yeah,
is what
oh yeah,
they
they're
are.
much more powerful.
Yeah,
So
because we have witches, we have freaking, we have like people like Mosquito. You
well,
have
they had stuff like that too, but Fire
yeah,
Force, although everyone had some type of fire superpower, it was a lot more grounded. Like
yeah.
life was more precious in Fire Force. In
Fire
Soul
Force to
Eater,
preserve it as
not so
opposed to Soul
much.
Eater.
Right.
No,
In
people
Soul
would just get
Eater,
cut and then Soul
yeah,
people
yeah.
have
In Soul
soul.
Eater, not so much. As long as your soul is intact, you technically don't die.
Yeah, you
So
don't die.
so that's why I'm like, what happened to them? Where did they go? Did they all go off and start their own things? is Death City the only actual city in Soul Eater? Like, where are the other areas? What's the rest of the world like? You know what I mean? So there's definitely a lot more to be flushed out, both in Soul Eater and from Fire Force and this connector. And I'm hoping that this connector shines the light on that, so that when we get something that's supposed to come after Soul Eater, because we're supposed to be getting the rest of Soul Eater animated. Where is that? Like, so when that happens and we get whatever comes after Soul Eater, that's gonna make a lot more sense and it's gonna be a lot more hype. And granted, I might be 50 by the time that shit happens, but
Man,
but we still want to see it. Yeah, we still, you know, I still want to see it. You know what I mean? I'll read that shit on my deathbed. Hey, you know,
definitely. Yeah, bro. Shoot, man, dude, if you give me a whole freaking thing of like, you know, the travels of Shinigami and the demigods, I would read that. If you tell me like about Abon or more than just Ashura, like the other, like I said, because all we know is about 3 of them, and all we know is that Ashura ate his partner.
Right.
So technically he was one of them, and then he just
but we
ate
don't.
his partner.
Yeah, but we don't know which one that was.
Yeah, we don't know which one it was.
Because I know I know good goddamn well it wasn't Arthur. I know damn well it wasn't Arthur.
I'm not saying he would have wrecked Shinigami, but Shinigami would have had a 10 times much harder of a time to actually defeat him.
Arthur would have probably whooped his ass. I ain't gonna hold you. Arthur would have probably whopped the floor with his ass. So.
Well, if he has Arthur's like thing, then yes, I would agree.
You forget Arthur and Shinra were like right here. Like they're
in the same
they're
tier.
both gods. So,
yeah, they're in the same tier. And the thing is, they could even each other out if you add something extra. It's more of a buff. It's kind of like Emma. It's kind of like Emma with Zoro. You get a buff.
Plus, I'm curious to see how Arthur's power would even work in Shinra's world, because he was plasma. He created a plasma sword based off of his fire ability. Did he create like a soul stealing katana now? Like how does that work? Like what would his power be? Boom.
Well, actually, if you think about it, we wouldn't we're just thinking this concept because guys, we're going to get into the weapons and abilities before we get to our next topic. But I think we're going to this. If I'm going to take a look at this logically, you would think about we went from fire powers to soul powers into letting people turn into weapons.
Right.
And also having an ability unique to them. So Justin Law, for example, you read the manga too, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
So Justin Law's ability.
I have it.
Yeah. Like, dude, like his ability to do like flash cannon guns, because remember he's a full-on weapon.
Yeah.
He's not like a Meister with a weapon. That's the difference.
Yeah, he's just a weapon by himself. Yeah, and that's how Maka's dad is too. Maka's dad,
my man, Giriko too. Giriko, that's his name.
Yeah, because I was gonna say he can.
Guy, by the way, he's fired. Giriko is so fired. He's just when they fight, this dude is just doing like freaking almost Eddie Gordo like Capoeira style with his chain.
How about that?
Like, he said, "I'll slice your neck." And I'm just like, he's a sadist.
He is. Yeah, he's a beast.
I do like him though, guys. He's actually the funnest and like just freaking horrific character, to be honest. And him Justin Law fighting back and forth in the anime just made me like I actually want a full on fight between these cats because I feel like they're just having classes similar to One Piece, but it's just like their interactions are just really good whenever they fight because he has headphones on and he's said to be a person of faith, but that's just anime, guys. In the manga, it's a lot different. He's on some other stuff. Justin Law, you think Giriko is bad? Justin Law is on some other stuff, bro. He looks actually menacing and like kind of like a grimace evil person. But I still mess with his character because there's actually a fight in the manga where he fights Medusa. I know you read that. Dude, that whole fight, I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed that whole fight they had.
Yeah, I can't wait till they fucking animate it.
Yeah, if they animate that and actually do it are they in talks of doing a redo of a remake?
I don't know if they're gonna do a remake of Soul Eater.
They should.
But I think they're just gonna do the missing chunk and then a continuation of Soul Eater. I don't think that they're gonna do a remake. I don't think it's necessary to do a remake. With the way that in the time that it was made and the way that it was made, it still carries over in good quality to today's animes. Like it still competes with like Jujutsu Kaisen and shit. So it's I don't think that it's necessary for it to get a remake.
Now, most people would argue that this because people say like it can like because I know what you're saying in terms of why it would compete. But most people be like, "What are you talking about? Jujutsu Kaisen is the best," and I'm like, guys, we're talking about like from the standard production of how it was made, how the animation
Yeah,
still looked good at that time. That's like 2000. That's like 2008, 2008 to 2011 or 2010 anime.
yeah.
You know what I
It's
mean?
it's it's
Yeah,
more
within
it's
that
10
time
or
frame.
it's definitely 10 plus years old. Definitely.
Yes, and I think and if you're watching on Funimation or anywhere, dude, the quality still looks
It
good.
still looks good. Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
So
guys.
you
I'm
wouldn't be able to
like
tell that it was actually an older anime if you were to watch it on like Funimation or
now D Gray Man, you can see the difference, like how it looked old compared to that one, but and that's a 2000 and well, not 2005, that's 2006 to 2010 or no 2009, 2006 to 2009, and then we get and then we get the not remake, the continuation for it and brand new animation, similar to Hunter x Hunter. And then people are like, yo, this looks it's like the evolution of like from that old production to the new production. And people can
right.
see like the difference in the artistic, the artistic style of how the characters look. And it makes you think that the characters evolved just from the animation when you look at it. And I'm just like, yo, everybody sees Lavi. I'm like, yo, Lavi looks so different now. I heard a lot of fan guys and fan girls just like loving the new look of the characters. So even if they did something of a continuation with Soul Eater, I think I might get that nostalgia feel if they actually do that. That would be pretty cool if they did do that. But
Yeah.
but
Just coming
but yeah, go ahead.
I don't think like from a business standpoint, I don't think that they see it necessary to do a rework of Soul Eater. And that's why I said I don't
Yeah,
think that we're gonna get one. I don't see
yeah,
the necessity of for them to do that. I don't see the I mean I see the appeal. I definitely see the appeal. The newer generations are gonna want they're not really gonna want to go and watch that older anime. They're gonna want a newer version made specially for them. But which they kind of got with Fire Force, but I don't I don't see from a business standpoint them doing that, especially knowing that they have at least two more series that they need to make. You know, Soul World and then whatever the fuck is coming after that. So
right.
I don't see them adding that layer of work onto their plate as well. Because we don't have a release date for that. And I don't think that there's manga for that yet either. So the mangaka hasn't even actually started working on the story for Soul World yet. so so we have no idea what it's going to cover, where it's going to start, where it's going to end. You know, Soul World might be that one that starts off in that section and then carries on past Soul Eater. So we have no idea. They've done that before. You know, they have done that before with other animes. We have no idea what they're going to do with that. So I would say wait and see what Soul World comes out to be. And then from there, we can talk about the possibility of remaking Soul Eater. Though I doubt it. I don't think that they're going to remake Soul Eater. I don't think that that's something that needs to be done. And I don't see from a business standpoint that being fiscal. Like I don't. I think that that would be a waste of money for them to do that. I don't. It would be fun. It would be cool, but you're not going to drive up any sales by rehashing the same series. You're not going to do that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not old enough yet.
Well, yeah, it's not super old enough yet, but also the thing is, it has no marketing value, at least from a
Right.
market production. Because for me, when it comes to series like that were not properly done well, it would just be the underrated ones that never really got a shine or were not properly adapted. That's always been my thing. If they're never properly adapted, then you have to do it over again. Like Shaman King got its remake, Hunter x Hunter got its remake. And also, D Gray Man technically wasn't a remake, but it was a continuation because of how Enikus ended abruptly. And that was a huge cliffhanger to leave it off. And then I was like, okay, guys, we're back. But
Right.
that's because Hoshino Katsura, because shout out to her. She's going through some health issues and some things like that because her chapters she like maybe gets out of a chapter maybe like every 4 months or something like that, guys. It used to be a lot because there's a lot of great things she was doing with that arc with Alan Walker, which is really good, by the way. Her and Conda. But let's be real, when they animated that, people were like, wow, like this is really like we want more from this. This is perfect. And it's just like but when it goes on hiatus, it kind of like Attack on Titan, guys, to all those who watch that. After Attack on Titan had its 2 seasons, guys, it took a while to come back. You do notice that people were just kind of starting to lose interest because like it took forever to come back. So but sometimes you gotta let some stuff age and let it season a little bit, and then after that, it come back to it. Like everybody's loving Attack on Titan now just because they've all gone back on it because back-to-back seasons. So sometimes you have to let some things not die, but let it go, get low at a low point at some point, and then bring it back up to raise up the retention and the fun and the heightness of it, which is One Piece, which is what One Piece is known for.
100%, 100%. They do this shit all the time, all the time,
dude. I think we've knocked this out thoroughly, guys. And
pretty much, yeah.
Honestly, both of us, we recommend you watch Fire Force and Soul Eater. I'm gonna say this: do not watch the freaking dub. Me personally, because I'm not speaking for my little brother here. I'm speaking for me. I personally watch the freaking dub for Soul Eater because I don't care for it. I think the Japanese holds up quite well because it's just funny. Sorry, Black Star and freaking Japanese is so much funnier in English for me. He's just funny. Yahoo! Yo man, he's funny. And Maka and Soul just sound so cool, like literally. So, and like I said, and I think they do a great job of portraying personalities, quirks, and even individualness of their own characters. I'll admit to that. That's one thing I like. I don't like a whole cast of crew of characters to be the same. I cannot stand that. I can't stand that. That's a pain to me.
That's one thing the author was really good at is diversifying his cast. Because Fire Force, Fire Force is the same. None of the characters are the same. None of them are the same. They are all very quirky and different. Should I watch it before One Piece? Because One Piece is going to eat up my time. Don't try to watch One Piece in one sitting. Don't do that.
Your brother, talk to her. I'll let you.
One Piece is a multi-sitting thing, especially if you're trying to catch up from like the beginning. Don't try to burn it all out in one sitting. You will get sick of it. You'll get sick and fucking tired of hearing Luffy's voice. I promise you, don't do it. Don't do it. I would take breaks. Finish like a voyage or two of One Piece, and then go watch something else, and then hop back in for another voyage or two, and then go watch something else and hop back in for another voyage or two. Yeah, it takes a little bit longer, but you give yourself better digestion of the story if you do it that way. Because even me, like I love One Piece. I eat, live, and breathe One Piece, and I can say most things about One Piece. But I will tell you, I did not watch Big Mama's Whole Cake Island when it came out. I didn't. I took a break from it because I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm still gonna watch it, but I'm saying that if you do it too much at once, you will definitely overindulge. I was going to do 3 or 4 episodes a day, maybe, but that's a better, definitely. Much do better. Like a voyage, do like one or two voyages because it's a lot. Each voyage is a lot of episodes. So like, I'd put like a weekend. Give it like its own weekend. Do a voyage a weekend, or 2 voyages a weekend if you're really watching that diligently, and then go watch something else, something in between. So you keep it in your mind, but not oversaturate it. And Fire Force is so short. Like Fire Force is so it's so short right now that you could, in the amount of time it'll take you to finish a voyage, you could probably finish the entirety of Fire Force. I think it didn't even take 3 days for the wife and I to finish all that they have of Fire Force. So it didn't. It's very short, and then when they animate the next season, that'll probably add like a 4th day.
Even then, I'll speak on my ex. Like she when we were still together, there was a lot of things that she used to do, and one of them was like she would bench these series. Like she had a day off, she would try to bench 2 series in one day, like 11 Eyes, 11 Eyes is 12 episodes, bro. And then she guess what? She tried to do Twin Star Exorcist the day after. I'm like, sweetheart, you got to like 2 days to finish that. That's the difference between 11 Eyes and Twin Stars is one is 50 episodes, one series 50 episodes, the other is 12.
Yeah,
you're not gonna be able to finish all that.
You're not finishing all.
You'll finish 11 Eyes. I promise you, you'll finish 11 Eyes.
So, I just started.
You have to do it till the morning.
I just put my lady on our ranking of kings, and oh my god, I love the show. So we've been finishing that. and that's not that long either. You know,
No.
what is it? What is it? 12 episodes or something like that?
Yeah, it's somewhere around 12.
So
if I'm not
somewhere
mistaken.
12 or 13 or something like that. So
Yeah.
a weekend, you know. Now,
Yeah.
I got kids
treat
and
it like
stuff
a
I gotta look
chore.
over. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Going back
Don't
to
do
your
that.
shit,
Don't treat
like a
it.
chore.
Don't treat it like a
just
chore.
take your
Don't treat it like a
time
job.
and just watch it because
Mm-hmm.
even I ain't gonna lie, I've been burned out by a series before, and there were some things that I just had to get through.
It's
what
like
was
20
it?
episodes. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, 2 seasons. It's like 20 episodes exactly. It's like 20 episodes. Is what it is. Really, what it is. And
Yeah, because
like I
they're
said,
getting ready.
take your
They're
time.
getting ready to do season 3, aren't they? I thought I saw something on a season 3
For
getting
Ranking of
ready to come
Kings?
out for Ranking of Kings. Yeah.
Yeah. Like for example, if you watched Invisible, for example, you can finish that in a day. That's 8 episodes. That ain't nothing.
Yeah, that's nothing. They ain't an hour.
That's a Netflix
That ain't
series.
shit. Yeah, that ain't shit.
That ain't nothing. You can finish that. Yeah, you and your man can finish that in like quick, like just like that. But if you want, Brianna, if you want any more recommendations, because I know you got a show to start in about a couple of minutes. But if you want any more recommendations of like how to watch something or certain series, just just ask us here. We'll get the answers. Both me and my little brother, we'll let you know. But guys, listen. We've covered this topic today. And we're gonna get it. Technically, we're in the I call this the anime after hours. Is what we're gonna have, and we're gonna talk a little bit about the Sonic 2 movie of what ideas that they might come out with after the release of the movie, because technically it's out in Australia. We've had some people react to it already. I've been ignoring there. I haven't watched any spoilers because I want everybody to shut up and not to say anything, bro. Because
I have looked at some of the reviews for it, the non-spoiler reviews, but we haven't actually looked at any of the actual footage from the show, from the movie or anything.
Oh, wait, so I could support your show today. Laugh Out Loud is Shy Cutie is traveling today. Oh, okay. So Kawhi Bree, if you're not busy and you're not doing your show today, you can come on up. We don't mind having you here. Trust me, I love to have you here, sister. Because like I said, you let me on your platform before. You're welcome to come up here. But yeah, brother, what did you just say? I'm sorry.
I said I've seen the reviews. I've looked at the reviews for the Sonic movie, and I've looked at some of like the people talking about how it was, but no spoilers. So I have no idea what actually happens in the movie outside of Sonic meeting Knuckles. So
yeah, exactly. I've seen the early screenings of it, and people said nothing but good stuff. John Campea show, if anybody watches him, because I do watch him too, even his group who weren't excited first, they're very excited to see it now because they all saw the first one, like I did, and then they're like, "Yo, I'm excited for this!" Like the whole group is like excited to go see it, and
I'm excited to see who the character they're gonna tease in the movie is gonna be. That's what I'm excited for. Because they said it. They said they tease the next character that the next movie character that's going to be in this movie. So I'm
next week
speculation
next week,
through the roof.
Next week, trust me, man. I got my Sonic hat and my Sonic shirt. Please know, I'll be repping that movie, y'all. On my 100%.
Day off. 100%.
I said, listen, I cut a motherfucker to stop me go seeing it.
100%. 100%.
Exactly. And yeah, we're gonna get into that talk right now. So because me and my brother here, we were talking about this. We're talking about things that was from the game, and specifically, it pertained to they're not following the game system. They're not following the game pattern because they're kind of taking it. Because I'll say this right now: when I saw the final trailer, so many times. And by the way, that trailer is fire. There were so many stages that were that's literally because it's like Sonic Adventure 1, and it's like a mix between Sonic 2 and Sonic 3. Mm-hmm. That's because of the Knuckles. That's because of the Knuckles edition. Because Knuckles was added, and how they're making it seem is like is Angel Island actually does it exist yet? Because I know Angel Sanctuary in the game of Sonic 3, guys, that's a whole place before you get to the actual Angel Island and stuff like that. It's separate because I don't think that stage exists at all. We're not going to get that, but I think we're going to get Angel Island because I think in this movie, because I thought Master Emerald, when I think about it, the Master Emerald is way bigger than that. It's
way bigger.
It's like massive.
huge.
It's like literally embedded in the freaking ground like a giant.
Yeah, like they couldn't move it easily. Even Knuckles couldn't move it easily.
Yeah, Robotnik is not carrying that.
No, but I don't think that that's the Master Emerald. I think that's just a Chaos Emerald.
Yes, yeah, Chaos Emerald. And the thing is, I know people want Supersonic, and I think we're going to Supersonic to the third movie.
No.
I've been saying this for the longest time.
Yeah, no.
I think
not at all.
they're going to gradually get to. I think third movie we will get the Supersonic, but
No.
not.
I have speculation on that too. But
Go ahead.
okay. So I think that they are moving. They specifically. Oh, so was the first movie like a prequel? Did it follow a game? I only played Sonic 1 and 2. No.
Okay. Sonic. Okay, technically, Sonic 1. The first movie literally was just technically, if you want to be honest, it was the first Sonic game. The only difference was we weren't in Green Hill Zone at the first time.
Yeah, we
when
were
you first get introduced to him. He's in Green Hill Zone, but that's when he was a baby and he got
a baby. Yeah,
and he got sent to the
our
real
world.
Our
Which
world, basically.
ironically, the
It's
town
the
is
station.
Green Hill.
Green
So-
Hill. Funny enough. And it's in Montana somewhere, right? Or
Yeah,
Minnesota. I think it's no.
I think it's in Minnesota. I
somewhere.
think it's in Minnesota somewhere. Yeah,
Minnesota somewhere. And the thing is, there weren't really any stages to it. But if you want to count him being chased by Robotnik in the movie, there was a sand place. So I think that might speak. Wasn't there a sand stage, bro?
Yeah. There was a point where they were going over the sand. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So there was
and
some
then
stage.
and then
call
the
out to some
fight
stages.
in the city, and then the fight in the city. So you can count that as kind of like that little city,
Adventure.
that little night
Yeah.
city stage that he has in the game.
Stage, yeah.
You can count it as that. But
Actually,
I don't-
City Escape probably. You actually play that up.
if you're thinking of Sonic Adventure, you could think City Escape. Yeah,
City Escape. Too.
but
By the way, best song. By the way,
I think that they're taking bits and pieces from the games, but they're creating an actual story using the movie. So it's gonna have some stuff from the game, but some stuff not. So there's two characters I think that could come up in the next movie, and specifically because they said they are not chronologically following the game's introduction, so that the characters are a mystery. I think we might either get Silver or Shadow in the next movie introduction. Like we might get a sneak peek at either Silver or Shadow, but we could also, because another OP character that doesn't get screen time is Blaze the Cat. So we could
baby.
we could very well get a Blaze the Cat appearance at the end of the movie. I don't know. I have no fucking idea who they're gonna do. My money is actually on Shadow. But here's my thing on Shadow. If they introduce Shadow into these movies, it's gonna completely change the marketing and it's gonna change the dynamic of the movie. Because for those of you who know, when Shadow was introduced and they started focusing on him and giving him his own game, it changed the Sonic tone darker. Like it gave it a lot darker of a tone because of his backstory. His backstory, how he acts, him being the Batman of Sonic, like it made everything a little bit more serious. Now in Sonic X, that wasn't necessarily the case because he didn't get a whole lot of screen time. And when he was there, it was a Goku and Vegeta situation. It wasn't really it wasn't so much of him darkening down the room. But in all the games Shadow is in, he darkens down the room a lot. Like with him, just him being there and him being a character changes the whole vibe of like Sonic overall to being a bit darker, because Shadow comes to fuck shit up. So like even if in this game, if you played the Shadow the Hedgehog game, my man had gats. Like he's gatting motherfuckers. He's putting people in the ground. Right? So Shadow brings a whole darker and edgier feel to the Sonic franchise. So part of me doubts that we will ever see him in the screen, but the other side saying if they're really trying to amp up these movies and get like the big crew, Shadow is definitely going to be one of the next characters. Definitely going to end up being one of the next characters. Now, I thoroughly like how they did Knuckles. Like applaud how they did Knuckles. He is fantastic. I love his voice, and I love the dynamic that they're doing between he and Sonic in this movie. I hope that they continue it, and I hope that they do lean into the fact that they do become friends and they do end up rocking out together. And same thing with Shadow. I hope that they do if they do add him, they bring him in and he becomes part of the crew and they rock out together. But there's always this kind of, is Shadow gonna stay? Is Shadow gonna go? Is Shadow gonna be here? Kind of mystery to him. So we'll see how they do that. Jay was saying that he thought that they were gonna bring in Rouge the Bat, and I don't think so because these are kids. These are kid movies.
No,
So-
no, hold on, I want to correct that. I said if they were to bring some levity or some humor to Shadow, you know, you could do that with the whole. I said you could do the whole Team Dark thing from Sonic Heroes, which they kind of leveled him out a little bit because whenever they were a team, if you played the game and you see the red scenes, he's very chill. They're they're not melancholy, but they're like oh, they understand they have a mission to complete, but they still love each other out. Like they have some a little bit of humor towards one another because Rouge,
because he was too dark.
yeah, he was too dark, but they had to level him out with Rouge because Rouge is actually the funny one in the group. Yama is the freaking robotic dude that doesn't understand humor, and he's like a robot. You know, all eliminates must be destroyed. Is what he sounds like. But you know they have humor together, but not as much as not to the degree like team. What was that? Yo, what was Amy's team? Team what?
I think it was Team Amy.
Team Amy? Sure.
I think her team was called Team Amy. Yeah.
What?
Where her Peaches and Cream and yeah. What wasn't it? Just those three? It's her cream.
It was cream cheese and
the big cat, the big cat dude. Yeah. Oh yeah, big the cat.
See these names, bro.
Yeah.
That's your fault. But like I would say, what's even more comical group is like Team Chaotix.
The Team Chaotix was fucking hilarious, bro.
I love them.
And I do want to see them. I do want to see them at some point too. Now that would actually be a lot more likely. It would be a lot more likely that they would introduce Team Chaotic into the Sonic movie because their humor is more childlike. The movies so far are very PG to maybe PG-13. Like they're very childlike. They are not in any way super serious at all. And I get the drones can shoot and all that stuff, and they talk about the possibility of someone dying, but no one dies. You know, someone might get hurt a little bit, but no one dies. And they touched on at the end of the first movie with Sonic getting almost fatally wounded, but not really at the same time. I think that they're gonna keep to that theme. They're gonna keep to some serious stuff might kind of almost happen, but not really. You know? So I don't. That's why I'm like, I want Shadow to be next, but I struggle to see how they'll fit him in. And even in the future, if he's not next, even in the future, I struggle to see how they're gonna add in Shadow with as dark as he is.
Well, I will say this. Let me throw my thoughts in there, brother. First of all, Brian, if you want to come in, the link is in the chat, by the way. I just dropped it down for you. So, you know, if you have any thoughts on this, come on up and share your thoughts. But for me, I thought about this. I can't believe I'm saying this because Marvel, you got in my head a little too much. So you know how they introduce characters? So what if we get, instead of like Shadow just coming in randomly, what if we just get a Shadow the Hedgehog movie? No. How about we do this? We could follow like the game.
Take the DC route, Sonic versus Shadow.
Yeah. You do that, and then you get his own movie, which will be Shadow the Hedgehog, and it'll be based off his origins in the game. But you have to make that movie PG-13.
Yeah, because it would be dark. That's what I'm saying. Like it would be dark.
You can't say like you can't say bitch or anything like that. But
yeah, no.
Yeah, you can't.
And he didn't. And he didn't. Even in his game, he didn't go that hard.
All right.
Yeah.
And he didn't. Once for those kiddies, got you.
Yeah, Shadow didn't go that hard in his game, but there was blood, there was gore, there was death, there was gats. Like Shadow's game, it went a little hard, but not that hard.
Yeah, but you can make it a more cohesive story because honestly, I think the mystery, like first of all, what made the game for me was the songs.
The songs, oh yeah, Crush 40 killed it.
Broken. I love that one.
Crush 40 killed it.
Crush 40 killed that entire track for me, especially the main thing. Oh, bro, I Am All of Me. I love that song. That is still my favorite to this day. and because it really speaks to like Shadow trying to figure out who he was. Like his template was very.
Well, yeah,
similar
because
to,
the
like,
story was he
what
caught
Michael
amnesia
Draymond.
after he and Sonic fought the chaos in space in super and hyper form, and he crashed back down to Earth. And he caught amnesia.
Yeah, and he had those dreams he was having about Maria, which
Yeah.
By the way, guys, that's actually the saddest thing personally for me, man. Like I can see why you would hate humans, and the last thing you see is a soldier like pointing a Glock at freaking Maria, who's like probably the kindest soul that can like try to keep you from being bad. You know, to see good in you, and then you see her get shot. That would actually just make you.
Yeah, a lot of people forget how dark Shadow's story is. Like that, that shit is dark.
And guess what? And listen, you can go the hero way, or you can go the dark way. Dark hero. Like I actually did like that. You could choose either one.
You could choose, yeah.
Because
absolutely,
how it would end.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I want to know, like, because of when he ends up trying to save him, he does it for Maria. And even at the last scene in the game, he says, "Goodbye, Shadow Hedgehog," while looking at Maria's picture, because he realized that person is dead, and this is a new version of him that he's accepted.
Now, the other one that I would be very interested to see would be Silver. Yeah, exactly, Brandon. Super dark.
Okay, bro. I'm about to get on Fat Boy more. My man Silver, let's go.
Yeah, but Silver, because Silver's from the future. So like he comes back in time to help Sonic or to stop something from happening down in Sonic's world. Him and Blaze. So I would be very interested to see Silver and Blaze hit the big screen as like the next introductory scanners. Like something's gonna happen in the future, and they come back in time and be like, "Hey, yo, shit's about to go crazy. We need you to stop this before this happens, or we're here to stop this," which is gonna cause Sonic and Silver to bump heads because that's how they meet. They bump heads first. Yeah. So it was gonna cause Sonic and Silver to bump heads and then figure out, oh, these are good guys too. Okay, let's go stop this.
We have so much material. I'll be honest. We have so much material. I just want them to keep doing what they've been doing, because if they keep doing what they're doing, we're gonna get good to great movies.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
But the thing is, I think we're gonna go beyond a trilogy. I think with all the stuff that they can take from the comics or from the freaking games, and just the show that they had too, I'm like, bro, there's so much.
The Sonic franchise could very easily go
be like 20 movies if they wanted.
Yeah, like it could be like its own Marvel universe, very easily.
15, yeah.
Very easily.
Yeah. And we can actually get Mobius, the city of Mobius. That's actually, and if you know what that is, that's the world Sonic's in. The first Sonic, that's Mobius.
Yeah.
Now, granted, because technically Robotnik City is hanging on a chain right here, and it's been a link. And Sonic, anytime he wants to go up, he can just run up there. And that's in a music video called Sonic Boom. If anybody has seen that, guys, that's the first Sonic, and his first villain was Metal Sonic, guys. Yep. And I loved that too. Whenever they would show him, he was butting heads with him. He was running like, dude, you're not gonna outrun me.
Ooh, that would be interesting too.
If they did that with Sonic Heroes, like Sonic
the secret character at the end of the Sonic 2 being a villain instead of a new help. That would also be interesting.
Yeah, that'd be
hey, dope. Hello. You know I like to be incognito.
There you go.
Hey, I can't really add much to the combo. I'm enjoying listening to y'all talk, but I did want to come through and show support, because Jay always comes on my channel support.
Absolutely.
How important it is. But I have so much respect for y'all opinions, because y'all have a whole different, what y'all watch, and how you break it down. So different from what I watch. So I'm just enjoying listening to the combo. So y'all keep it up.
Thank you, Brie. Appreciate it. And the thing is, like I said, if you want series that you want us that we can recommend to you that aren't too dark, but are like to your liking, like Sweetheart, let's be real. I am a freaking. I've watched a lot of slice of life anime, and I can tell you the romance ones. I can tell you the psychological slice of life.
Ooh.
I can name them all up. The psychological ones are probably the best ones, to be honest. That incorporate some romance in them, but they're just so good. Like I have to get my brother to watch
some recommendation list would be cool. Cause I rock with slice of life, but even just hearing some different ones, because I'm sure the ones y'all recommend are probably different from what I tend to probably gravitate to. I like my romance and J dramas and stuff. But yeah,
have you seen Have you seen Devil's Line?
Oh,
No.
she would probably.
Oh,
she would probably
you
like
would
Devil's Line.
love Devil's Line.
If you like
You like romance?
Romance and
Yeah,
vampires,
Yeah.
you would like that series.
Yeah, that's right up
Okay.
your alley. It's
And
basically the anime version of Twilight if the vampires were actually cool.
That's the difference. That's
like
what I said when I
if
first
the
watched
if the vampires were actually like interesting enough to where dudes would like them, that's what Devil's Line is. It's good. It's really good.
Yeah, it's not too dark, and it's actually has a romance between the main character. I won't lie, brother. Thank you for saying that, because listen, why is it when I watched it, that's what I got, right? I'm like,
That's what I got because I
my
threw it
brain put
on.
it together for me. I'm just like, why?
I threw it on, and me and the lady were watching it. And at first, I was like, okay, vampires, right up my alley. Let's go. Oh, fight scenes, okay, let's go. And then we start talking about how they introduced the love interest, and they start leaning hard into the love and the chemistry. And I was like, oh, this is a hentai. All right, this is what we're doing here. And
Is it like adult theme romance, or it's not like kids?
yeah,
It's like
no,
adult
it's adult situation. Yeah, like this, my boy will die if he is seen with this lady. Like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, like it's real. So
and the thing is that made me want to pick up the manga one after I got done watching it, because I know something.
yeah, I definitely want to pick up the manga for that one and continue it. It's really, really, really good.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
a good series. It actually
My
gets
wife,
you-
like I said, my lady, she loves that series. Absolutely loves it. Like I think we watched it 3 times, and 2 of those were willing. Yeah, 2 of them were willing. The third one was because she didn't want to change the channel, and I wanted to sit on the couch. So the price of sitting on the couch was having to watch it a 3rd time. So, so
Y'all
that's
both recommended it, so I'm gonna have to check that out.
yeah. Devil's Line. It's a really good one.
And honestly, I don't know if I would recommend this one to her. If you're talking about something that makes you think about life and about like what a future or what this is telling her what I haven't actually having to spoil her, because I'm actually dancing around it. If you're talking about something, if it makes you think about life or a future that you could possibly have, watch This Ugly Yet Beautiful World. Remember that, brother?
Yes, bro. Oh
Bro,
my
for
god.
Boys, for boys
Ugly-
and for girls. I
Ugly
promise
Yet
you,
Beautiful
that
World.
anime was made for both genders when you were in high school.
I'm gonna tell you like this. Before I watched Ugly Yet Beautiful World, I was stuck on animes like Dragon Ball Z, like Naruto, all the shonens. I would only really watch the shonen. I wasn't interested in nothing else. Then he showed me Ugly Yet Beautiful World, and that opened the gate for me. Like I was like, oh, shit can be this good. We gonna have to start branching out, and that was my gateway into branching out into other genres of anime. Was Ugly Yet Beautiful World, and I still talk about it to this day. That was almost 10 years ago. I still talk about that shit to this day.
Yeah, no, definitely. She's still here. She's she said she'll be right back. But like we're still, like I said, like for example, my brother here, me and she's back. I told you, but the thing is, yo, brother, do you remember when we watched? Okay, guys, don't judge us, because listen, we're men of culture. We watch all types of stuff.
All types.
Me and him, and actually watched 2 series that was on cutting edge demand when Spectrum was still called Time Warner. And the 2 series that we watched were Mythical Detective Loki, which was really good.
Yes, bro. Mythical Detective Loki.
Loki was technically the magical version of Case Closed, and
Yes, it was.
But I liked Loki's character a little bit more than to my man Shinichi, and I still like Shinichi, by the way. But bro, Loki, oh my god, dude, that series was so funny, but it was serious at times. Like you're telling me,
dark.
it was dark sometimes. But I tell me, you're telling me you trapped, both you and your lover are trapped in little kids' bodies, because as for you being punished for going against Odin is actually the bad guy. You never would have thought you ever heard that. But actually, you sympathize. No, because our incarnation of Loki is seen as bad. Because remember, we watch MCU now, guys. Yeah, I wouldn't think that he was a good guy.
He was,
Loki here,
the trickster.
Yeah, the guy of Trickster, one of the guys, like, dude, you actually are on his side. And his brother, in this one, his brother doesn't even hate him. They're cool. They're buddy-buddy. And I'm like, I ain't never seen this, bro. Where does come
Yeah,
from?
Mythical Detective Loki was the
Loki
shit.
was really good.
That was
man.
the
And it
shit.
actually had a good ending, to be honest.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm writing these down. Okay.
Okay.
I was like,
Well,
I
actually-
probably like. The thing is, like, will I get to all these shows? Maybe not, because it's me like
No.
watching a
No,
freaking
no,
movie
take
every
your
day,
time.
watching One Piece, watching what I already watching,
no.
like 3 anime
your time,
right
Brie.
now. It's just like, and
Yeah,
gaming every
because like I
day.
said, we have a list.
Oh yeah, the back catalog is real.
All of us. We have like an extensive catalog of what we've all watched, and I'm just going off my memory. And I think, you know what's so funny? I think I still have this Ugly and Beautiful World freaking DVD in my freaking closet here. I think I still got that. But I think
We started collecting the perfect edition mangas for Soul Eater.
Mhm.
The big hardback versions of the mangas. Yep.
Yeah. And even in my case here, I still got like a whole bunch of stuff, not just my figurines here. My books are in here too, and my books are like, I actually made part of my dresser or like a freaking library showcase because of like
Hell
what
yeah.
I'm doing.
Hell yeah,
Because
man.
I-
You got
just 'cause
to.
I-
You got to.
And I don't have them just to have them. I have them to read them on my days off sometimes. 'Cause I just like to read them. But when it comes to like I said, back to the series that me and him did check out, there was Jing, King of the Bandits. Jing was good, and then we actually did watch this. Actually, this is technically my first Shakespearean anime that me and him watched it, and we didn't know. But that was Princess Tutu. That was another
Oh,
one.
fucking Princess Tutu, bro.
Princess Tutu. And
Yes, I
listen,
remember
Which
that.
Shakespeare play is it?
It's technically a Shakespearean play, and the reason why I can say that, guys, because guys, I took English class in college for a reason, and now when I actually got older and I understood, I'm like, dude, the whole thing is a Shakespearean play, but the difference is, this is how I see it. Drosselmeyer is a wicked version of Shakespeare. He's the evil god of that verse. Everything that they're doing is following the actions of what this guy wrote. And no matter, and see, it's already bad off rip, which makes it even darker to stop. You tell Princess Tutu can't ever tell that she can't ever tell the prince that she in love with him. If she tells him, she dies. Already, she can't win. It's rigged
can't
from the
win.
start. She can't win. She can't win. She loses, bro. And I was like, yo, I was like, Drosselmeyer, you effed up, bro. He's all kinds of messed upness. And because originally she's not even a human, she's a duck that gets an amulet that turns her into a human. And later on, Princess Tutu, which allows her to actually collect the shards of the Shattered Prince. So technically, it was like, technically the series starts as
Lies.
if like it was already, no, it's cool. And technically the series starts as if like this was already played out. And we're just gonna have you guys pick up the pieces of what I left off written, but I technically already written it all. So if you follow everything I say, you know, everything's gonna happen the way that I foresaw it. But I'm not gonna spoil it, but it don't actually go that way because of Fakir. That's all I'm gonna say. And you watch all of Fakir. You have to watch.
I'm not gonna
Fakir's
spoil it.
story.
I'm gonna spoil
No, I
it
ain't
a
spoil it.
little bit.
No, I'm dancing around there, brother. I'm dancing around. You know, I'm dancing around. I ain't
I'm
spoiling
just
it.
messing with you.
But I will say this: watching that series, I relate to Fakir so much. Like Fakir, God, damn, Fakir. When I think about his character, it's like, bro, if you were a teenage boy, like, bro, everybody's a freaking Fakir. No, we all got problems. We all got like things that we hide within ourselves, but also we as men don't know how to progress because of what the role that was given to us. And the
And
thing is, in that series, they're trying to fight destiny in that series.
Right.
That's another
But
thing.
that's why a lot of these shows end up so relatable, is because you'll find that character that's like, damn, I think that too. Or damn, that's very prevalent
Hey, I
in
gotta go
this
in.
generation.
I'll be sorry.
Oh, no, that's cool, Bree. No, I got
No,
you.
you're good. You're good.
No, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it, sister. But back to my man when I'm talking was saying, he's correct. Like I said, that's why some of these series you got to go outside the shonen genre. Really, there's something I'm gonna say this. There's something outside of the shonen genre that you can't get if you stay there. There's just more things to explore, more themes, motifs to be shown. If you watch psychological anime, if you watch horror anime, another is another one of those. If you watch another,
Oh, dude, another was fire.
it was fire, bro. For me, it was fire because and
It
also
was
I
scary
feel
as
bad-
hell, but it was fire.
Yeah, it was.
That shit was spooky.
Okay, best way to say it, anime Final Destination without spoiling it.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I'm not gonna spoil that the last other episodes because that was crazy, bro. But it's just so much that goes into a series that you never can get that these concrete ideas would exist. And also I'm gonna recommend an anime for my brother to watch. It's gonna be Grisaya. He's gonna have to watch 2 seasons for it, but he has to watch that episode 0 of the main character because the main character's whole story is 0 to 5.
Okay.
And then after that, and that's not really a spoiler, but that's really what it is because you're gonna follow the other characters first, and then you're gonna get to his story, and that's why and honestly, after watching that entire series, what that boy went through and what he became, bro, you're in my top 10 characters. You're not even from a shonen series. You're like in a sane and psychological type slice of life series, and you don't have no superpowers, but you are so well damn written. I have to put you in my top 10 male characters of all time. Like, I got to. That's how good he was. His story is, and also the trials and tribulations that the characters that surrounded him actually gravitated towards him. They really did. So that's why whenever I bring up Grisaya, like, bro, I'd put Grisaya in my top 10. And I don't do that for psychological ones. Because let's be real, I had Psychopath in that list. Psychopaths. And
Psychopaths is good.
Psychopaths is really good. So I think the first 2 seasons are amazing. For me, I don't care about the movie because me and my brother watched that. We didn't care about that. I just
Right.
the 2 seasons. And I'm thinking, yo, man, Grisaya might actually. And I thought about my Grisaya actually got Psychopaths has competition with Grisaya. Because if I'm thinking about it, these are both good psychological animes. Really good. I can't think of anything else on the tier of it except Monster, maybe. But Monster's like the god tier. And like, these two can actually be up to something around that. But whenever, like I said, me and my brother, whenever we watched these, we were so young, but now we're older and we look on them. There's
It's like a whole,
stuff
yeah.
different when you're older.
It's a whole layer we can see now. Like,
you can say that again. But so much stuff, man. Like I said, Ugly and Beautiful World, bro. I love that series to this day. Mahoromatic is another one of my favorites. And guys, I have that series on my drive. Honestly, it actually shows you how somebody who's in combat all the time can leave that life and go and help this little guy's life. I said little guy, this boy's life. And it's a little guy. I'm sorry, guys. Funny, but how she can enter a different person's world and try to improve what's already not working for this dude.
right.
And also it's the final. It shows her how you spend your final days with somebody. So
Right.
like same thing. And guys, shout out to the series that did that. Violet Evergarden. Enough said.
I don't think I saw. Oh no, Violet Evergarden. Yes, I did see that.
Yes.
Yes,
I have not
did
watched
see
the
that.
movie, y'all. That's the only thing I haven't watched.
I didn't watch the movie. I didn't watch the movie yet.
I still have to watch the movie because there were other movies that came out that I had to go look at, but that is on my list sometime in the next 2 weeks to go see to actually watch it because Violet. Oh, jeez. Talk about psychological. Talk about actual themes being explored. Violet Evergarden is that incarnate. So like I said, there's more. Like I said, there's more inside the shonen genre. You just got to get out of it. And so all the people who say they don't like slice of life, I think for me,
it's because they're used to riding the high of a shonen and getting that adrenaline rush that when you go into a slice of life, it feels slow, it feels boring. But some of those slice of life animes have stories that are a lot more riveting than a hand-to-hand combat battle. You just gotta get to it.
You gotta get to it, but also here I will say this, brother. You gotta open your mind to it and actually take your shonen bias out and actually go in with the actual, not low expectations. I would say just go in just empty-headed. Is what I would say, and let the story go for you. Write it in your head. Let it get in your. Okay, here's the best way to say it. Let it sink in your brain. Let it marinate, and then you'll have something cooked up.
Right.
But you can't just go into the guzzler from action right to slice of life. Me, I can do that. I'll be honest. I think because me and you are just so different, than the regular average anime viewer. We could just we could go from a psychological to a thriller to an action. Like, it's not hard for us because we've seen it all when we were just younger. And let's be real, Medical Detective Loki was freaking technically dark, and it had a lot of psychology in it, and it had a lot of just not just fantasy and a little bit of action, but it had a lot of themes that relate to real life or psychological problems that people were going on. So that was there, and also this ugly yet beautiful world spoke about the insecurities and a possible future that may or may not be. So,
right.
Too. Yeah, I got you, bro. Don't worry, man. We're gonna end it very soon. But Rasafan was another one. I forgot about Rasafan. Rasafan is that okay?
I don't think I saw that one. I don't think I saw that one.
That was on Cutting Edge too. That's still technically that one. You probably have to watch that over. Rasafan was a mine F. That was almost on some Evangelion stuff. And not in the negative.
See, I've seen Evangelion stuff.
Yeah. Did you watch the last movie?
No, I did not watch the movies for Evangelion.
Last movie because they just ended off the whole entire series. I no longer hate Shinji Ikari anymore. I'm about to say that. I no longer hate him. Okay. I used to hate him for the longest time.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, bro. You know how it was. Like, it's still a 14-year-old boy or a 13-year-old boy. You know how we are. I'm nothing like that. We were wild. We were like, heck yeah, man. Give me a mech. But, but all in all, guys, like I said, when you're checking out this series, just don't have any bias. Okay, first of all, don't go in with like opinions of others. Go in with a fresh mind and clear. Let your mind be clear when you go and check it out. Because whenever we did that, we took our times, and it actually helped us process the anime a lot smoother transition. And because our first movies technically were the Miyazaki films, none of that had a lot of action in it, or my bad, over the top action or anything like that. They were more adventurous, more character focused, and just more chill, as opposed to Hunter x Hunter. But he said, salute Jay, guest, chat. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Hey, man, Arshawn, I appreciate it, brother. Thanks for being here. But yeah, guys, we're gonna be on for another 10 minutes, and then we're gonna end it because my brother Rentaku here, he has a stream he has to take care of, and I'm gonna and Mr. Rentaku, would you mind posting your link in a private chat? I'm gonna post it out so everybody can check out his gaming stream. Yeah, because like I said, listen, we're here with family together, and I'm just here to promote my brother here and actually get him on here to talk about topics that he loves to talk about. But also check out his gaming stream, guys. He does a lot of streaming on Twitch.
You go.
All right, I'm gonna post it right here. All right, I'm gonna copy and paste that, brother. I'm gonna highlight that actually. There we go. And now, is there any more Sonic talk you'd like to have before we yeah,
I think as far as Sonic, I think we covered everything I want to see, I hope to see, and probably won't see. With Silver, it's just I hope that he ends up being the hidden character that they talk about, but he probably won't.
That'd be quick. Yeah, that's a little too fast. But
it's a little too fast because that starts diving into the future and what's gonna become in the world, and at that point, the Chaos Emeralds would have to be. Hey, yo, appreciate that. The Chaos Emeralds would have to be gathered at one point. Like, they'd have to know where they are in order for the future to be a problem in the first place. So we'll see how they go about handling that. I don't think that they're going to stop after 3 movies. There's no way.
Can't.
There's no way. There's too much. There's too much in the Sonic world for them to stop after 3 movies. So I think that it's going to continue, and we will eventually see Silver and Shadow and Chaos and Metal Sonic and all of them on the screen. Heck, Team Chaotic,
Team K, like I said, we might get a Sonic Heroes thing or like a Sonic 2006 game.
Yeah, like I don't doubt that we'll see something like that in the future. I wouldn't even be surprised if they try to do like a mini Marvel MCU type of thing with the Sonic verse. I don't doubt that they'll try to do that, but
Yeah.
at the same time, we'll see. Because the first movie did great. The second movie is doing great already.
Yeah,
Ain't
man.
even fucking
Don't
out
say
yet.
anything negative about it. I'm happy, bro.
Nothing at all. So
Nothing. I haven't found one negative comment.
as long as they keep on this path, they'll be able to keep making money off of it, and I don't see a reason that they'll stop anytime soon. Now, Paramount will do what the fuck Paramount wants to do. So we've seen this with the SpongeBob movies, with any of the little kitty movies they decide to take on. They'll milk it till it's dry, and once it's dry, they won't touch the shit no more. So.
Right.
I predict that they're gonna milk the shit out of Sonic because of how well it's going until it's not. And then once it's not, it's gonna not hard, and then we won't hear anything else about Sonic anymore. So
Yeah, I'm gonna touch up on that too. Like we actually had what was it, 20th or 30th anniversary of Sonic? Which one was it? The 31st? 30th anniversary. Just last year we had that. And please believe, a lot of people were watching that, or like the whole thing, just no recollection of Sonic's inception of his games, of where he started to where he is now. And please believe, the Sonic franchise is some real, like the fan base for it is like, please, it's very big and very real. In Japan and America, all over the place. Everybody knows that. But all in all, guys, like I said, we're looking forward to what they might come out with. And I would say, just like I said, it's a proud day to be a Sonic fan, to be honest. Or if you're a Shadow fan, please trust me, you're going to be happy. I think you're going to be happy regardless. But like
again,
I said,
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I want Shadow in the movies. I want to see Shadow. I don't know how they're gonna do it. I don't know. I've said it. I don't know how. I don't know how they're gonna do it.
I'll be honest. They can't screw up his character because everybody. I promise you, the internet. You know how the internet is.
Yeah, but here's the problem. Like with Sonic,
you screw him up.
With Knuckles, it's easy because Knuckles just want to punch a nigga in the face. Kids love that. That ain't nothing wrong with that. They don't have to dumb him down in any way, shape, or form because Knuckles is Knuckles. Shadow is a whole nother ball game because if you dumb him down too much, he's not Shadow anymore. But at the same time, if you put him in like he's supposed to be, the movie's not for kids anymore. So it's gonna be real hard.
Okay, so I say the third one. People are gonna hate it. We're both Shadow fans, guys, but people are gonna hate what I'm gonna say. We don't get Shadow in any three of the movies, but we get him probably in something after the third, I would say.
Probably.
And people are just trust me, they would hate that because I've heard every reactor I've heard, like I've heard every black brother who's reacted to the trailer says, I want to see Shadow, bro. I want to see Shadow. Like after this, man. After this movie, I want to see Shadow. I've heard so many people say that.
Oh yeah, but everybody wants to see Shadow. Are you serious? The way that they did, as good as they just did Knuckles, I want to see what Shadow's gonna look like. Shadow, outside of him being the darkest character in Sonic, he is a fucking beautifully well done character. Like he looks cool as hell. Imagine seeing Shadow done like Sonic and Knuckles are in Tails in the new movie. Like, oh my god, a 3D Shadow would blow people's fucking minds. He would look amazing. Absolutely amazing.
How you doing, Shy? Appreciate you being here.
How you doing?
Yeah. Hopefully things are going well with your travel. And the thing is, for me, like I said, I think we save Shadow for later, and when we get him in his own separate. Now you can tease, like I said, either you could do the whole. I was about to say "Live and Learn," y'all. One of my favorite songs. But you could easily do the Sonic Adventure 2 if you want to do it like that. But then you can make it a separate movie, which is PG-13, which is Shadow the Hedgehog, the movie, and then you can do it from there. Or you could give him his own miniseries. You could do that. People would kind of hate that, but I kind of want to see him in big screen. That's me. I want to see him in.
I don't think people are gonna go for the whole miniseries.
Knuckles is getting his own series.
Hey yo, appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, and all in all, because she games too, by the way. But all in all, they should be able to I don't know, there's just so much they could do. Like I said, third movie we could get Chaos, and that's where Super Sonic comes in.
See, that's what I was thinking. I was literally just
That's what I
thinking
was
that
thinking
like
they
they
would
could
do. I was
they
thinking they were
could
gonna
do like a battle against big chaos that goes into outer space,
Yeah,
forces
perfect
them to
chaos,
have to go into supersonic hyper shuttle like they did in Adventure Battle 2, fight him, and then that lead off into Shadow's solo story, like they did with Sonic Adventure Battle 2, leading into Shadow the Hedgehog. But I don't think that they're gonna do that because Knuckles is a goat. I don't think that they're gonna do that because that would then require them to make movies about them gathering all 7 of the Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah, which would be MCU. Yeah, which would be.
It'll be like an MCU style thing.
That's what it
And
would be. You
though,
don't wanna do all
like,
that.
not gonna hold you, I would love to fucking see that. Hello? Yes. I would love to see that. A movie about each Chaos Emerald, please. And a different villain and a different character in every movie. Yeah, let's go.
The thing is, brother, to
Let's
what
go.
you're saying,
And then some of them will be entirely different teams.
worlds.
Right,
Yeah,
in different, they'll be on different worlds, and some of them will be entirely different teams because Sonic didn't gather all 7 of them by himself. Other teams went out and gathered some of the Chaos Emeralds too. So we will
Sonic
see
goes.
some of those. Yeah, we will see some of those other teams go out and gather some of those 7. That shit, that'd be a banger. That I would love to fucking see them do that. I would love to see them do that.
Yeah, that would
Absolutely
be dope.
love it.
Like I said, there's so many games. that
Which
we
is
could
kind of
get
what they
into
tried
that.
to do with Sonic X. So
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna say this. I don't think they can ever listen. They can never animate that Metarex saga because that's just impossible. I can't see us doing that. It just won't work. For some reason, in my mind, it's just not work. It's not clicking with me. The Metarex can't ever work. Just because they were just, I can't see it. I just can't see it. Everything else that we talked about that could work, and also I want to know how they would do Chaos. How Chaos would look actually.
yeah, how Chaos would actually look. He'd be.
He'd be like
I mean,
he'd be
they're
like a
all
giant Hydra.
CGI, but
Yeah, he had to be CGI for that.
I mean, they're all CGI. But
No
I think
CGI, but they look realistic.
they look. Yeah. I think they would just do like because when Chaos was first introduced, he was just a puddle. He was a puddle that moved around. He didn't actually take shape until he met Sonic, and then he tried to take a shape that emulated what Sonic looked like. So
Yeah, with the whole
So I think-
hand claws. And
and then the little spikes in the back. Yeah. So I think they'll if they introduce him, they'll do that. They'll introduce him as a puddle. He'll be like he'll take something over and then come out of it and scurry into the darkness, and then that'll be, oh my god, it's Chaos. We know who that is. And then they'll make a movie around him or involving him in some way, shape, or form. But I don't think they're gonna come right off the bat with a whole Chaos right off rip. I don't think that they're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Especially with how big and powerful Chaos can actually get. I don't think that they're gonna do that. They're definitely gonna save him as like a main villain for something.
Oh, you talk about like Chaos Alfred?
Yeah. I don't think that they're gonna.
I think they were okay. If it's gonna be in the whole movie, I know what you're saying. Because in the game, it made it seem as if like he had he has different evolutions before he gets to perfect chaos.
Yes.
And
I had time to shoot.
I know you're good. And I thought the third movie could do all of that personally, because you just get. Actually, Robotnik, let's say Robotnik has nothing to do with this or anything like that, but technically he has to be because he's part of the franchise. There's no way you could take him out.
Yeah, a lot of the shit that happens because he tried some dumb shit.
Yeah, and the thing is, we get different fights with Chaos because of different characters.
Right.
Like Knuckles fights him at one point. Sonic fights him at one point. I don't think Tails ever fights him. I don't think.
No, not by himself.
But I guess you have to get it have to be the 2 encounters, but you have to do it in different evolutions. It'd have to be the first time Sonic fights him the one time, and then after that,
they just have to treat it like the Frieza fight.
Yeah, treat it like the Frieza fight. Then the Knuckles fights him, and then he gets perfect chaos would be the final one, and then that's when they start.
And that's where everybody comes together, and they get the Chaos Emeralds, and they got to take them down. Yeah.
And then Super Sonic comes in, and then you end that movie with him fighting Chaos. And of course, perfect chaos. My bad, perfect chaos.
And of course, there has to be a premonition. So if they're going to continue it, he's got to be in supersonic form. He's going to fight him. He's going to beat him, and then there's got to be some premonition about what's going to happen next. There's something else.
Yeah, because supersonic
they have
can't
to
just
worry
happen
about.
nowhere.
Right. So like Shadow hears somewhere in the distance that the Chaos Emeralds are gathered, or Eggman hears that the Chaos Emeralds are gathered, and now he needs to go get them, or he wants to go take them. And now Shadow comes into play. Go get the Chaos Emeralds, maybe hand him a light work, and we know how that goes from there. So
Yeah, exactly, because it's the same premise in Sonic Heroes. Whenever you beat every stage with every character and you get the Chaos Emeralds, which, by the way, the best part of that game, being a team, and actually whenever you get a chance to get the emeralds, that was awesome. That was awesome, because that's how you unlock Metal Sonic story.
Yep.
So you can finish out the story, because every team had like 2 emeralds with them, and then that's when they used to battle Overlord Metal Sonic, which was probably, I'll be honest, that version of Metal Sonic was a bad motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie. When he came out of that little freaking ooze and stuff like that, when Sonic and them got tricked, and then you see him come up with his childish figure, I was like,
Dude,
I got the chills from him.
Being Super Sonic and then having freaking Knuckles and Tails and like the little auras behind that shit was so sick.
So fire.
That shit was so sick.
That was DBZ-esque, and that was
The 100 Super Sonic is DBZ-esque as hell.
I was like, bro,
the nigga, he literally turns gold and his hair stands up. Like, this is Dragon Ball Z as hell.
And I'm like, bro, now we
hold on, sweetie pie.
They can fly and levitate, and they just all 3 will fly into the freaking stratosphere to go for Overlord. I was like, bro, that was so fire, bro.
Hell yeah.
So, they would do something like that. That had to be 2 movies, to be honest.
Definitely. But
and I wouldn't.
It is almost about that time for me, Bucko.
All right, guys, that's the signal. Thank you for joining us. I really appreciate everybody being here.
100%. Thanks for having me.
Me, my man, Mr. Rin Otaku, and guys, we'll be back. Like I said, it's gonna be every 2 weeks that we come back and give you guys an anime podcast. So I won't tell you what the next thing is, because I'm gonna leave it up to that's between me and him, because we talk behind the background of what we're gonna talk about. But stay tuned for the next stream, guys. 2 weeks from now. And peace out. Have a nice day. And don't forget, Knuckles, Shadow, Silver, they're the goats.
Brush your teeth, wash your ass, stay safe. We love you.
Facts.